Of the big S3s in Britain, the Abyss and Caveman are probably two of the best, two of the most outrageous experiences that you can have. I mean, I had this feeling when I was up there, like you're the second person who's just ever been into this ridiculous position.
I was expecting it to holes to be maybe smaller or something. Every hole is like, the smallest hole is 2 pads.
The only snag is you take one look at it at low tide and you just cannot in a million years ever imagine yourself soloing it because it looks utterly terrifying.
And I had checked out the landings before. Yesterday when the tide was low, I'd gone down and stood on the boulders and looked up. The traverse was right above me. If you fall off in certain places, it does feel like you come close to the boulder.
The S grades were invented to describe the sort of danger factor in deep water soloing. Now, an S0 is something that's not very high, maybe 20 or 30 foot, and it's right above really deep water, so you could fall off it. You could even land at a bad angle and you're going to be absolutely fine. Up to S2, it's going to be a bit higher, maybe up to 50, perhaps even 55, 60 feet, but really deep water. You're going to need to land properly. S3 is really high ball stuff, so that's like 65, 70 foot, up to 100 foot. And even with deep water, the landing's going to be pretty interesting, even if you get your entry right. Some of these routes, you can actually walk around on the rocks below them at low tide. There's like no water at all there, so clearly you've got to get it right.
Having people around, it's fundamental really. Like having Frank here adds a bit of history. Having Mike and Ken, Mike in the boat, it's really inspiring.
3, 2, 1.
So of the big S3s in Britain, the Abyss and Caveman are probably two of the best, two of the most outrageous experiences that you can have. They have their different nuances. I would probably pick the Abyss still as being a slightly better route, but oh my god, you can't really beat that for an adventure. They're both out of this world, literally. The Abyss is just one of those mythical routes that everyone talks about. I mean, it was unrepeated. It's in this dark, gloomy, foreboding cave called the Alien Cave, and it is just literally the gateway to hell. You've got all these evil slots and blocks and chimneys, most of which seem to lead down blind alleys. It's one of those things you look at it and you think that looks like 8C, and then you find out that the route's just given this meaningless grade of 7B. This is one of these places that is just impossible to get to. I mean, I had this feeling when I was up there, like you're the second person who's just ever been into this ridiculous position. You cannot pre-practice a route like this. You can't cheat. The only way is from the ground up. It's more than just a route, the Abyss. It's a bit of a life-changing experience.
That's got to be the best deep water solo in the world. That just throws everything at you, and more things than you could possibly dream of or dread. That's just totally outrageous.